Happy Friday afternoon, Ironbound Gym. Welcome to Tai Chi and Qigong. My name's Stan Rockwell. Going to try to relax and flow into the weekend. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. And if you have any forms you would like us to do, let me know that too. Start off with our posture, balance, and breathing. First, you get your foundation set up, your feet shoulder width apart. Your feet as parallel as you can get them. Remember, if you have issues with hips, knees, or ankles, you have to have your toes out a little bit. Or some folks, their natural way is their toes in a little bit. Remember, you go with whatever feels most natural for you. What we're trying to do is establish the principles that help you stay in harmony with gravity, and your body as balanced as it can be, to maximize the flow of energy through your body, the flow of blood, nerve impulses, lymph. That's basically what Chinese medicine is about. But we're all built differently. So you won't look the same as someone else, and you won't look the same on different days, even different times the same day. Start to pay attention how the bottoms of your feet feel against the floor. If you're doing this outside, how they might feel against the ground. And you focus on trying to get your feet evenly balanced in all directions. Left, right, front, back, to the corners. And you want to be as firmly connected to the earth as you can be. You have acupressure points in the center of each forefoot called Laogong points, called bubbling wells. Laogong points are in your palms. Function in similar ways though, just different organ systems. The ones in your feet, the bubbling wells, Yongchen in Chinese, it's the first point in the kidney meridian. So a lot of the stuff we're doing when you're doing a foot massage, almost when you're shifting your weight from side to side, you're basically massaging that meridian to hopefully help maintain the energy in your kidneys and help improve the function of that organ system. Chinese medicine, they see the energy that you inherit from your parents as being stored in that area. So you want to maintain that. You can visualize an energetic connection into the earth, keeping you nice and firmly connected to it. You can visualize the roots growing down into the earth, getting you firmly connected. And once you're connected to and firmly grounded in the yin energy of the earth, you want to ground yourself or connect yourself to the yang energy of the heavens. In yoga, you have crown chakra. Chinese medicine, you have the Ba Wei. You can visualize an energetic connection there pulling you up, a line attached there pulling you up. So it does, it stretches you upwards, makes you taller, stacks your vertebrae on top of each other, starts to make some adjustments to your body. Tops of your hips become parallel to the floor, tailbone drops down, hips move back a little bit, flattens out your stomach and your lower back, gives your spine more of a J shape. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just relax into whatever feels best for you. Tops of your shoulders relax down, they become parallel to the floor. It's like your shoulder blades are flowing down your back. Your shoulders aren't up around your ears, they're not slouched forward, they're not pulled back at attention, they're just nice and relaxed. Medullary line across your eyes and ears is parallel to the floor. As that line pulls you upwards, it lifts the back of your head, tucks your chin in a little bit, and move your head back if it needs to, just a bit, so your head is nice and relaxed on your shoulders and nice and balanced on your shoulders, so that if you were to drop a line from your earlobe, it would go straight down through your shoulders, through your hip, to your ankle, in a perpendicular line. So there's going to be some bend in your knees. There's always going to be some bend in your knees, always going to be some bend in your elbows. Knees are always going to be pointed in the same direction as your toes. If you tend to be a little flat-footed, and when you get yourself grounded and it causes your feet to flatten out, your knees to bow in, bring your arches up so that your knees are pointed in the same direction as your toes. If you drop a line from that byway straight down through the middle of your body, through the perineum, should hit the floor roughly equally distant from your ankles or from the bubbling wells, depending on how you're built. But you want it to be right in the middle of your foundation. Foundation, remember, is that invisible line around the outsides of your feet. Everything inside that rectangle is your foundation. Just relax into it. Now that you're in harmony with gravity, your organs can function in a more efficient way. So you focus on your breathing. The breath work is a really central focus in this. We're going to breathe in through our nose. That helps filter the air, helps warm it up, add some moisture to it. And you breathe down through your diaphragm, so you're pulling that diaphragm down, so on the inhale you feel an expansion all the way around about hip level. There's a 70% rule in all of this. That applies to your breathing as well. You don't have to try to inhale as deeply as you can. What you are focusing on is breathing from down here instead of up here. When you breathe from up here in your chest, it's a stress response breath. You don't get as much oxygen. The muscles there don't really work expanding and contracting your lungs all that well, so you have to work harder, and you typically breathe faster, which automatically increases your blood pressure. Pull that diaphragm down. Let the air come down almost effortlessly. On the exhale, pull the pelvic floor up. You visualize yourself riding horseback in the saddle. You're pulling that saddle up, pulling the perineum up, moving that air out. It's a bit like doing Kegels as well. Inhale, pull the diaphragm down. Exhale, pull that pelvic floor up. As you breathe, you notice how the air feels as it goes into your nose, down your throat, into your lungs, and back out again. Any changes in the temperature and humidity. The sound it makes, just the way it feels as it goes in and out of your body, on the insides of your body. For Chinese medicine, they'd have you touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth, connecting conception vessel in the front and the governing vessel in the back, but it doesn't matter if you believe in that or not. You press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth, and you do it just right. You disengage the muscles in your jaw so you can't clench your teeth, which is another way we often manifest stress. On the exhale, if you want to exhale through your mouth, you can do that and sigh like this. With that sound, just like whatever tightness is inside your body, whatever tenseness is inside your body, just relax and flow out and dissipate. So just breathe at your own pace. You make the exhale last just a bit longer than the inhale. Again, that increases the relaxation response. So if you're counting, you can inhale on a count of 5, exhale on a count of 7 or 8. This is something you can practice anytime, anywhere. And if you're looking to sort of make the relaxation response almost automatic, you can also put a word with the breathing. You can use a word like calm, relax, grace, serenity, the name of someone or something or some place where you feel very safe and secure and calm. And you pair the word with the breath, and the breath increasing the relaxation response, so that if you find yourself feeling stressed or anxious, just feel your feet against the floor. Notice different shapes, different colors, different sounds you hear, the taste, the smell, whatever's present with you right now. And focus on your breathing and say that word to yourself. You just say it in your mind. And bring yourself to where you are right now. And just relax. And just continue your breathing. If you feel any tightness, any tension across the top of your head, around your eyes, around your ears, around your mouth, your jaw, just breathe into it and let it soften. If there's any tightness around your neck, your shoulders, down your arms, into your wrists and hands and fingers, just breathe into it. And let it soften and relax. Your chest, your upper back, just let all the tightness soften. Your stomach, your lower back, down into your hips. Just let all the tightness soften. And your hamstrings, your thighs, your knees, shins, calves, let all the tightness just soften. And your ankles, your feet, your toes. If there's any tightness anywhere, just let it soften. Relax. Let all the muscles in your face just soften. Just follow me. Let your arms come up with your palms facing, like there's water just effortlessly bringing them up. Turn your hands towards your face as you press in. You feel like you're pressing your head back a little bit to feel some movement in your neck. Turn your hands, you press outwards. Arms come back down. Tuck your chin just a bit to feel some stretch in the back of your neck. Inhale on the way up. And exhale. Inhale, let all the joints in your shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands expand outwards so everything gets longer, but you keep some softness in your elbows, some bend down. One more. Inhale up. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Back to the center. Arms float up. Palms facing again. One arm comes down, palm faces towards the floor, other arm folds over. Center of your palm lines up with that third eye or that upper dantian. Shoulder nice and relaxed. 70% of your range of motion, keeping the forehead and the palm in alignment. You turn to that side, moving only your arm and your head. Come back to the center. Hands straight places. It's an exhale off to the side. And an inhale to the center. Arms come back down. Turn your head to one side again, 70% of your range. You don't push it, you just flow into it. Drop your chin, let it roll across the bottom. Back up to that center line, straight across. It's an exhale down. Inhale across. And then reverse. center. I'm going to do forward shoulder rolls first. If you have issues with rotator cuffs, you can just rotate your arms so your palms are facing behind you and make the circles with your elbows. But again, take it easy on yourself. And just start to roll your shoulders towards the front. And just remember to breathe through your abdomen. And then reverse. Then a movement that's used a lot for balancing yourself out. We're using it for the shoulders in this one. Arms float up, first the palms face down, turn to face up, fold over, face diagonally downwards towards you and press down. Just remember to breathe. So it's an inhale up and an exhale down. To the center. Arms float up with your palms facing again. Till they're about shoulder high. Let those arms extend outwards. Bend at the elbows till your fingers are pointed straight up. Bring your forearms and palms together. If that causes you issues with your shoulders, just let your elbows relax out like that. If you can, you bring them together. You inhale as you open the upper chest. Exhale as you open the upper back. Pause. Let your arms extend out, but again, keep some bend in your elbows, but you feel the arms extending out. Come back, hands towards your shoulders, but not all the way, so you don't fully compress the elbow either. It's an exhale out, and inhale back. Fingers are pointed straight up. Just pause there and let your hands tilt towards you and away from you. And towards and away from each other. Circles in one direction. Circles in the other direction. Bring your hands together. Clasp your fingers together. And circle your hands around first one direction, then the other direction. Bring your hands out so you're holding a ball and you want to keep those palms facing like you're rotating a ball around. Just play with it, rotate it however you want. What you're aiming to do though is keep those Laogang points lined up. That translates as work palace, by the way. And then just flex your fingers out. Make fists at your hips. You reach out to punch as you do. Again, you visualize that arm getting longer, the fingers getting longer. Clasp and pull back in. It's an exhale and an inhale. Flex your fingers again, bring them till they're about waist high. On the inhale, just visualize all the bones in the hands and wrists and fingers expanding outwards. On the exhale, they just relax back to where they were. So inhale, exhale. One more. Back to center, and just hold the ball. Either hand on top, it doesn't matter. Just make sure the elbow of the upper arm is dropped down. It's not up like this. That puts pressure on your rotator cuff. Just drop it down. Lower hand rotates out, presses up. Upper hand presses down. It's an inhale to the center, and exhale out. Get back to the center, just pause there. We're going to rotate on that center axis being the line that runs from the bow wave through the perineum to the center of the foundation. Only from the hips up, everything from the hips down stays nice and still. Got this hand on top, so I'll rotate till the hands line up with the hip on that side, then turn the hands around, come back to the other side. Synchronize the breathing so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Back to the center. Hands go to one side like you're pressing into a wall. Shift your weight over into that foot. Other foot goes out, touches, comes back. You don't have to reach out very far. Just want to feel some movement in your hip right in that area. Back to the center, palms facing towards the floor. Your weight into one leg, either leg, it doesn't matter. Hands go back just a little bit to counterbalance. The other foot's weightless, it can go up, heel touch. You need to rebalance, just touch your forefoot down in the middle as your hands come back to the middle. Hands go forward to counterbalance. That weightless foot goes back. And again, your body's staying perpendicular to the floor. You're not going into a warrior three. Qigong's a relatively recent name. For a pretty good while this was called Taoist yoga, and name for what we're doing where you're moving your body a lot is Weigong, or external Qigong. Neigong is internal Qigong, where you're basically focusing on moving energy in your body. Back to the center, toes pointed towards the corner, a little space between your heels, fists at your hips. Shift your weight into one foot. Weightless foot goes out straight ahead with where the toes were. Opposite arm punches to counterbalance. And back. It's an exhale and an inhale. I'm going to do one more for the knees. This is the one where you go into that forward bow and arrow stance. So you shift all your weight into one foot, other foot's weightless. It goes straight up with where the toes were. Toes pointed straight ahead, back foot, toes pointed towards the corner. As you can see, there's some space between the insides of the feet. So I have stability left, right, as well as front, back. And you punch with the opposite arm, and you just feel that nice stretch come out, come back. It's an exhale. In an inhale. When you're in a bow stance like this, your knees are pointed in the same direction as your toes, but in that foot in the front, the knee never goes beyond your toes. A good rule of thumb is you keep your shin more or less perpendicular over your ankle. You do want to take care of your knees. Back to the center. Shift all your weight into one foot. For the ankle, it's a heel and toe on the weightless side. And then shift your weight over, and same thing on the other side. And then pick a spot where you can touch the outside of the foot, inside the foot on that same spot, so you get the lateral motion on the ankle. Loosen that up a bit. Same thing other side. Being very gentle with your ankles, knees, hips. Shift your weight into one foot and first make a circle in one direction. In the other direction. Same thing other side. And then reverse. And get yourself balanced, nice and centered, and then you start to shift your weight from one side to the other. You're going to do a little balance work first. You just, again, you can pretend there's a pendulum hanging from that way, so when you're centered, it's right in the middle of your foundation. When your weight goes over into one leg, you're centered, so the pendulum's in the middle of that foot. So when we do balance, you want to keep yourself upright and perpendicular and as relaxed as you can. When you tense up anywhere, somewhere else has to make up for it or compensate for it. Think of it as a person driving and they veer a little bit, they might overcorrect and go too far the other way. And we do that sometimes when we try to catch ourselves when we feel like we're losing our balance. So shift your weight all into one foot. Heel of the weightless foot naturally comes up, and if you can, you just let the forefoot float up off the ground. Just relax into it and breathe. Sometimes pointing index fingers at the floor helps ground you. Come back to the middle. All the weight goes into the other side. Heel on the other foot naturally comes up. Toe floats up. Just breathe and relax. Shift your weight. This time it's like a helium balloon's attached to your knee. It just floats that foot up like you're about to step up over a curb or up on a stairway. Same thing other side. Shift your weight over, heel comes up. Same thing other side. When he comes up, just drop your hand on your thigh, very gently. Same thing other side. Come back down. Shift your weight into one foot, let that other foot release. Comes up, it moves straight forward just a little bit, doesn't have to go far. If you don't have room to do this, you can just do it in place. As that foot comes down, even where the toes were when you started, you shift your weight into that foot. When this foot is fully connected, foot on the back can release. It comes straight up as you inhale and exhale. Shift your weight into your back foot. If you just want to turn around and walk straight back, that's okay. Comes up, down. Remember, you're walking on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Come back. Shift your weight into one foot, let the other foot go to 45 degrees. Shift your weight into that foot. Bring the other foot over, touch down just briefly, and go into a forward bow stance as you step up. Shift your weight back, just that front foot out to 45 degrees. Shift your weight into it, back foot comes up, touches briefly, sweeps out, comes down, toes straight ahead again like you're walking on railroad tracks. The length of the step can be whatever you feel comfortable with. It doesn't have to be very far. The shorter the step, the easier it is, and it lets you go maybe a little bit slower to work on that balance. Then just shift your weight into what's called a reverse bow stance. Most of your weight's in the back foot. Front foot comes in, touches down, steps out and back. Shift your weight back, adjust that front foot. Come back with your feet parallel, shoulder width apart. Shift your weight into one foot so you can turn towards the corner. This hand and this leg are going to move together. Other hand's going to be out to the side like I'm resting it on tabletop. Your foot up. And I'm going to bring my feet so their toes pointed towards the corner so I'm facing straight ahead. This is a nice balance exercise. It's a movement called Golden Rooster, standing on one leg. Hand and foot moves together. Back down. This time I'm going to shift my weight into the foot on this side. Hand on the opposite side is going to come underneath and cross hands. And then you kick. And down. Kick doesn't have to be very high. Again, you don't lock your knee when you kick either. You can kick leading with your heel or kick leading with your toe. And you notice how the muscles in your leg feel different depending on which way you do it. Come back to the center. And just shift your weight from one side to the other. Pouring, like you have warm, salty water going from one side of the body to the other, cleaning all the cells from the tips of your toes up to the top of your head to your fingertips, and down out the toes on the other side when your weight goes into that leg, and then shift up clean water. If you want to use the light as a visualization, that's okay, whatever works best for you. Synchronize your breathing with it. Movements mostly from the hips down. Everything from the hips up staying fairly still. So that pendulum is going from the center to the center of the foot, back to the middle, to the center of the foot. And just breathe. And as you shift your weight, you start to turn on that center axis a little bit, and you just let your arms freely swing from one side to the other. Back, wrist or the hand may gently hit just inside the hip. Your head can go, your ears lined up with your shoulders, so you're not turning your head at all. If you want, you can keep your eyes closed and just visualize yourself in a place where you feel nice and safe, secure, calm, serene. When your weight goes into one foot, that foot flattens out, and the other foot, the heel comes up a little bit. Having your eyes closed makes you feel a little dizzy. You just keep your eyes open. You look straight ahead at something that's not moving. But again, you can do the visualization. For drumming, tap just inside the shoulder. It's kind of that hollow. If you run your fingers down your collarbone until you feel that little hollow just before you get to your shoulder, that's an acupressure point on your lung meridian. And then base of the rib cage. Just inside the hip in the front of the inguinal crease. Lower dantian. And just let your arms swing again. Come back to the center. One arm comes up, kind of holding your head in place. Lower arms down about even with the lower dantian. It's going to move your hips in the direction that your fingers are pointed. And then you come back, rotating your hands around. It's movement in the hips and the lower back. To the center, hands, fingertips facing. Maybe bring your feet so the insides of your feet line up with the outsides of your shoulders. And just going to do 5 elements. Inhale. Exhale. First one is earth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Earth gives rise to metal. Open and close. Inhale. Exhale. Metal gives rise to water, flows down. You're going to keep yourself centered over your foundation so your hips go back like you're about to sit down in a chair. And exhale down and inhale up. Water gives rise to wood. Hands rotate, fingers are pointed forwards. Make a big circle up. About level with your chin or so. Come back down. And up as you exhale. And inhale. Earth, rotate on that center axis just from the hips up. Everything from the hips down stays still. Left hand lines up with your left hip. Right hand comes on top. Inhale. And exhale as your hands open and close. Rotate to the other side. As you do, you keep your palms facing and you turn your hands so when you get to the other side, you get to the right side, the left hand's on top. So inhale and exhale. Back to the center. Hands come up and first the massage. Down the back energy channels and then up the front. big circle in front, like you have your arms around a very big tree. Shoulders nice, relaxed, elbows drop a little bit. Some bend in the knees, again centered over your foundation. So it's called the horse riding stance. And just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Take a few more breaths on your own. Let your hands drop down, palms face downwards. They float up, they turn to face upwards. Fold over, face towards you, press down. You can visualize clean yang energy of the earth coming into your love down points. Clean yang energy from the heavens coming in, and then pressing it down through the byway, right straight down through the middle of your body. Pressing any stagnant energy out through those bubbling wells. Inhale. Exhale. To the center. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, healthy, well, and I'll see you next time. Peace.